Can you see me? We're inside what is soon to be a very exclusive, top secret clubhouse for my kids. Anyways, just an impromptu project built in the driveway. Of course, it's scaled out of hand, and as you can see, the ceiling has no roof, but is much taller than me. That's how you know it's a good project, when it gets out of hand. I experienced two versions of what I feel is the same scenario today, and I want to quickly touch base on it. A man needs to have purpose in his life to stay constructive and to stay happy. I think. And today really pointed that out. Earlier in the day, a gentleman who I'm just, associated with, I don't personally know him that well, but he seems like an excellent human, was absolutely ecstatic about a project that he is undertaking, and it moved in the right direction for him. It just, you could hear it in his voice. He was genuinely thrilled that he had come across this opportunity in life, and it was unique to him. He was happy for him. I'm sure his family was happy for him. And it was infectious. It happened first thing this morning, and I thought, man, I'll tell you what, we're not neighbors. I've never even shook this man's hand before, but I liked it. I thought, good for you, man. All day I thought, good for you, being so charged up about this opportunity you've come across to further your passion, your endeavor, your hobby, and really an enterprise. I'm sure he'll make a few bucks off of it and enjoy himself. So then the contrast came later in the afternoon when I had to deal with a gentleman that, albeit quite a substantial age difference, doesn't have that sense of fulfillment in his life. The exact opposite, really. His kind of relinquished control of something that he did put a lot of time and passion into. And, of course, what gets deemed as retirement, I don't know if that's good or bad. For some folks, good. For some folks, not so hot, I guess. Rum mojito in a can. I think it has a bit of sugar in it. Anyway, side note, I worked with a guy that would say, this, people don't like to joke about this kind of thing, but a lot of folks suffer with their weight and stuff like that. And he'd eat something like at work, he'd eat a chocolate bar, and he goes, "Oh, you want to eat too many of those? It'll give you livabetes." I said, "Oh, what do you give you livabetes? What's livabetes?" He says, "Oh, it sounds more upbeat than diabetes." So take that for what it's worth, but not as much going on in his life, and a lot less things to be constructively engaged about. And what that leads to, I think, is people really clinging to small details of their life that they feel they can maintain power over. And unfortunately for a lot of men, that makes them a little bit miserable. A little bit of the grumpiness streak in there. But, it is what it is. We can all kind of respect our elders and have a little appreciation for the things they might have given up. But I like the contrast. In one day, I saw two ends of the spectrum. A guy absolutely driven to giddiness, I would say, by a discovery for something that he had hoped and wished to find, and is going to further his life's passion, really, something that he's super involved in and is constructive, and I'm sure it just betters him and his family and everyone around him. Whether it doesn't matter the subject. I don't even need to tell you the subject. It doesn't matter. To see that and the uplift of that, and then versus the alternative where someone has very little of that constructive structure in their life and things to focus on or things to conquer. It just gives you perspective. In order to be happy and in order to be a productive guy, really the pinnacle of your family unit or whatever you picture yourself in, to be a man with a purpose is the best way to go. You know, I mean, who wouldn't want to feel that exhilarating feeling of giddiness? And it could be something like, I get it all the time. Nobody gives a shit that I bring home a half a dozen logs to throw in the sawmill. You know, my wife doesn't get fired up about that, but she's happy that I'm happy. And then it just brings everyone together. We got some common ground. And if you lose that, I think it can lead to gentlemen getting a little bit bitter. They maybe dwell on things they wish they would have done because they don't have something to focus their thoughts on what they wish they're doing going forward. So I think what I'm learning as I gain a few years, I will gain another year this year, as we all do. You want to focus on the forward momentum, and then you really don't have time to waste on anything in the rear view. So yeah, that's about all I know. That's all I know. And patience too. Have patience for those that may not be living as chipper a life as you. I think what I'm guilty as the rest of a lot of young men, I'm sure. I like to participate in listening to a Joe Rogan podcast once in a while. And he said something about you should cut people some slack, because whatever they're experiencing in their life may very well be the absolute worst thing that they have experienced in their life. So who am I to pass judgment? So maybe I'll give you a little sneak preview in a future video of how the old clubhouse worked out. It's been a lot of fun because I'll go around the house going, Mickey Mouse, and then a little tiny voice from somewhere else in the house will go, Clubhouse. Oh, I'll tell you, those are the small things you gotta focus on. Anyways, cheers. Appreciate you following along. I enjoy making the videos. I know they've been a little varied and spaced out, but we're having a good time. So we'll catch you on the next adventure.